Well, he liked it so much last Friday. Mike Eppel, you couldn't stay away, could you?
No, indeed. I'm back. I'm back for another Friday afternoon. You know what, Francis? I was I'm the typical scattered husband, I suppose. Turns out this was a PA day in Durham.
Uh-oh.
And, of course, I found out about it earlier in the week when my wife reminded me of it. And I'm like, okay, we've got parent-teacher meetings today and of other things. And I got the snow tires put on the cars. Both
well, it
cars.
was productive then. It was a good morning.
I got a lot done. It's like 2 days in one.
That's good. That's good. Let's get down to business. You've been keeping a close eye on the TSX.
Yeah, indeed. We were going for a 10-week winning streak, and did it make it at the end? Not so much. The Toronto stock market did post its first money-losing week since early September, actually. It had been on this big roll. This week, though, some profit-taking and kind of a choppy performance overall. TSX was up today 63 points, down 0.25% for the week. The Dow today dropped 100 points. Again, tax reform, the debate about that plays into it. You're going into a weekend. What will happen next week? Will they, won't they get it through the Senate? Yesterday, the Dow was up. Today, it was down. You know, Francis, what was kind of interesting this week on the Toronto market, medical marijuana producers every day were the most actively traded stocks. And, you know, Aurora Cannabis wants to buy Canamed. Canamed, just a couple of minutes ago, announced it wants to buy Up Cannabis, which is based in Oakville. It used to be a mining venture on the venture market in Vancouver, but Up Cannabis actually has the backing of the Tragically Hip, and this is all about getting into legalized pot as opposed to just medical marijuana when all of this takes effect next year. So a lot of wheeling and dealing in that particular component of the market.
Everyone wants into the business.
Exactly.
That's for sure. So, you know, Tesla, it's go big or go home, isn't it? Because so last night they unveiled this brand new, like, really exciting concept for a transport truck, and they have a Canadian buyer in mind.
Well, yeah, this is going to be, you know, very interesting to see a couple of things with Tesla, because a lot of it has been about, okay, the future of vehicles. And the issue has been Tesla's delivery point. It's been ramping up the production of these.
Yeah, how's that Model 3 going?
Well, that's just it. You know, they've made 500 of them so far. But this truck is going to have a range of about 800 kilometers on a 30-minute charge. That's significant because it's towing capacity and distance. And right today, Loblaw says it wants to buy 25. And they put down a deposit, apparently. And they want to be all electric on the Loblaw delivery fleet by 2030. So a long-term plan here, but still, they're getting in on this game early.
And what about the Roadster? What about the Roadster? Because
the Roadster was another thing.
Cool
this was a surprise last night. It's sort of the reinvention of the original Tesla. $250,000 is the price on that. Okay, so you have to put down $5,000, and then within 10 days, cut them a check for $245,000.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So you're committing.
Again, this is not going to be on the market until probably 2020 or beyond. But it raises money for Tesla, which is burning through a lot of cash because they're trying to ramp up production. It's this cycle that Elon Musk, I mean, he's a genius on both the design and the financing of Tesla products.
So if I put down my 250 grand, am I actually going to get it?
At some point.
At some point.
You just have to be patient.
Okay.
Might be a few years.
Right, okay. Hopefully I still get to choose my color. So critics have been quick to jump all over a recent leak on the Trans-Canada Keystone pipeline. But that might not have an impact on the expansion decision coming next week.
This was fascinating today because it's a pretty sizable leak in South Dakota, and it comes just days before Nebraska state legislators have to rule whether the Keystone XL gets another expansion go-ahead. And everybody thought, oh, here you go. This is a red flag for the regulators. Not so much. They have to base their decision due to a 2011 law in Nebraska that the decision has to be based on submissions and paperwork that have already been submitted to the committee. So this pipeline leak does nothing necessarily to upend the Keystone pipeline expansion through the southern U.S., and it did virtually nothing for TransCanada stock today, which was down just 50 cents when all was said and done.
Well, were you hoping for an Apple HomePod for Christmas?
You know why? Because in my house, we've got a thing called the Honey. It's called Honey, Change the Temperature. Or the Daddy. Daddy, make me some dinner. Daddy, drive me to dance class. So I'm not sure if I necessarily need one of the home speakers, but a lot of people do. You know, Google's got Alexa, or is that Amazon Alexa, and the Google Home, I don't know, I've lost track.
Yeah.
Anyway, the HomePod from Apple, this is not insignificant. It was supposed to be out next month, just in time for Christmas. Apple put out a statement today saying, nope, it's not ready for prime time. They're going to wait. Apple, of course, has the money to do that and the clout in the marketplace. If they miss this Christmas, they'll get it next. And again, stock didn't see too much reaction at all.
But like you said, the dad pod is always there and dependable and has all the answers.
Almost free.
Yes, almost free. Mike, have a great weekend.
You too.
Okay, see you again soon. Here's Amanda.